Good morning. Happy Monday to all the YouTubers out there watching this. This is going to be a collective tarot reading for Monday, January 31st, 2022. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams tarot deck. The deck has already been extensively shuffled. We did a little cleansing with sage as well. But we're going to go ahead and get into this, you guys. Let's see what's going on for the week of January 31st. Tomorrow will be in February. So what is going on for my collective right now? What does my collective need to know right now? All right, let's get into this reading, you guys. The world. Wow. The world. We got earth, air, water, and fire surrounding this card. So the world is represented by the planet Saturn, okay? This is coming from a place of wisdom. This is coming from a place of like, you have journeyed, you have taken this path or a path, and you have reached the end and you have obtained this wisdom, okay? You have obtained all this wisdom and all these experiences and all these, things that you can now share and teach to others, that you can now share and teach the world. When the world card comes out, it's this symbol of we are now, the wheels have turned, like the completion has come full circle in reference to whatever path you've been on already. And now it's time to begin a new path. And this new path has to do with teaching. It has to do with showing others what you've learned, showing others or teaching others about your experiences, through stories or through wisdom or through whatever the case may be. Okay, this is also kind of signifying that it's time to, it's really time to take a look at what it is that you know, what it is that you feel that you can offer to others, right? Because when the Fool, card 0 of the Major Arcana, this is Major Arcana, this is the very, very last card. The very, very last card in the Major Arcana deck. And when the Fool makes his journey, here's the Fool right over here. He's alone, right? He's alone. He takes the journey alone. He goes through all these different stages. He meets all these different people, and then he comes to completion, which is the world. But completion is not really completion, right? Completion just means that we're entering a new stage. We are beginning a new journey, and maybe in that journey we're not alone anymore. Maybe now we have somebody else in our journey, or maybe now this journey is about other people depending on you, right? So when I look at these 4 elements over here, all 4 of the elements over here, we have fire, so we have Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We have water, we have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Earth, we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Air, we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So when I look at all these symbols and elements surrounding the world over here with the Fool, it's about coming into alignment with all these different parts of yourself, right? Coming into alignment with your physical body, okay? Coming into alignment with your mind, okay? Coming into alignment which is air. Coming into alignment with your soul, which is water. And then coming into alignment with your heart, which is fire, okay? Right? Mind, body, heart, and soul, okay? So these are 4 really, really basic principles of like spirituality and the 4 major elements. This has been taught for for a really long time, as far as, you know, the true spiritual path is about aligning all four of these different things within yourself in order for it to become one, okay? There's maybe a lot of you out there who haven't even started this journey yet, who have not begun the journey of coming into full alignment with yourself. And this would be a message saying like, well, you know, is this something that you want to do, right? It's the question of, is this a path that you want to take? Because the spiritual path is not just about this, or it's not just about that, okay? It's about really understanding the different aspects of yourself on a deeper level. It's understanding, you know, your heart, and your heart is very much represented by passion and drive and even aggression sometimes, you know, like what are you willing to fight for? It represents your creative spark, your creativity. You know, a lot of the times people don't really tie in like, you know, aggression with spirituality, and that is really, in my opinion, I actually think that that's kind of toxic. I'm not saying like go out there and like beat somebody up. Like, no, that's not what I'm, you know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like, you know, what are you passionate about? You know, because you do need a significant amount of aggression in order to go after what you want, you know? You do, you know, you do kind of need, you need the heart, right? You need the heart. You need that fire, and it's represented by fire to go and to get the things that you want, okay? You know, it's also very much represented by sexuality as well. And then there's water, your soul, okay? This has to do with your emotions. This has to do with your deeper understanding of your own emotions and where they're coming from, and even your memories. This is tied to memories. Water is very fluid. You know, sometimes we have this whole like interesting kind of wave of thoughts that come through us, and it feels like we can't control them. We start remembering things from the past. We start creating visions for the future. Okay, this is all channeled through that water energy. This is all kind of coming from that soul energy, very, very Neptunian, lots of symbols, you know. And sometimes that world can be kind of confusing. It's really just about, you know, it's really just about kind of like taking a look to see what can, you know, what can kind of be grasped. But as far as the emotional journey, you know, the emotional journey is also a spiritual journey. It's about really being honest with yourself about how you feel. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you frustrated? Are you angry? The more that you repress these emotions, the more that you ignore the truth of how you're actually feeling in a moment, it kind of becomes psychosomatic. You're kind of creating this, you're creating a reason for these emotions to, you know, kind of get triggered in the future and like possibly like destroy you, quote unquote, on some level, or your life unknowingly. It's kind of hard to explain in a, you know, in a context where, because it takes place in this like other realm, you know. It's like the more, there's a quote by Freud where he's like, you know, oh, repressed emotions are just waiting to get like, or if repressed emotions aren't dealt with the proper way, it comes out later in life in like really ugly ways. Like, right, they can be, like if you ever notice that people will trigger you, sometimes people will say something to you and it triggers you to feel something, and like you get really angry. And it's like, okay, you get angry, but you have to start to ask yourself, like, well, why? Like, where is it coming from, right? Like, why are you getting angry? So like taking the emotional journey is also super important, okay? This is also like, looking at this card, I also feel this very much as like, if you are watching this, if you are out there, like you are ready to start taking like the full spiritual journey, okay? Maybe you have been taking this, maybe you have been on this journey all by yourself. Maybe you've already been doing things just the way that you've been wanting to do them. You've been the fool. You've been just kind of experimenting and exploring life. And now it's like, you're ready, you know, like you reach that end, you're ready to start a different kind of journey, right? So this is that. You're ready to start that spiritual journey now, okay? You're ready to really bring all the different elements of you together into one, okay? So that would be, you know, so we talked about the heart, the journey of the heart. We talked about the journey of the soul. And then there's earth over here. So the journey of the body can really take place in so many different dimensions, okay? It's about the physical body, it's about your health, it's about you feeling good about yourself. You know, you don't have to do yoga to go on a spiritual, physical journey. You can take kickboxing, you can just, you know, go work out. You can go for a hike, you know, you can go bike riding. Like, it doesn't, you know, yoga is more about like teaching you how to breathe, okay? Yoga focuses more on like breath work, which is important, you know, but it's not like, I don't define it as the thing to do if you're on this like spiritual journey. Okay. Earth energy is also about taking, you know, taking a path about where like, you know, your understanding, especially if like, if you do lack earth, let's say in your birth chart, you know, maybe starting to take the necessary steps towards your financial future, right? Towards your stability, towards your career, you know, really discovering what it is that you really want to do in your life, or, you know, how you want to make money, you know, learning about finances. I mean, you got to take care of yourself, right? And in order for you to get to the place where you want to be, you have to be honest about what it is you truly want out of life, okay? And being honest with yourself, that's part of all of this, okay? That's part of all of this. Okay, and then we have air energy. Air energy is all about the mind, okay? Air energy is you know, freeing your mind, but also, you know, learning new things, and, you know, being open to new information, being open to, you know, having conversations with people that, you know, go beyond just, I don't know, like this or that, you know, but actually having these open dialogues with other people. Okay, this is very much in connection with community and alliances and acquaintances and friendships and siblings and partnerships and relationships, okay? Because it talks about communication, okay? The mind is about communication. It's about thought process. It's about, you know, the more we communicate with others, the more we start to understand different perspectives, and then we can, you know, reflect and analyze how we feel about that perspective, you know? So it's really just kind of opening your mind up to new information, and allowing yourself to, you know, learn a new skill, or, you know, mentally just kind of absorb, you know, something out there that maybe you haven't absorbed yet, right? Like this video, for instance, if you're coming across this. Okay, so yeah, so I definitely see this very much as like a spiritual journey, you know. This is also Saturn, so it's about putting those goals to work, okay? It's like you have come to a point, and now you have reached, you know, the totality of this, of you just doing things your own way, right? Or like of you just, it's kind of, now it's like, it's time to acknowledge, right now it's time to acknowledge that there's all these different energies and facets and elements to life that maybe you haven't seen before. Like you have reached the end, right? So now it's time to begin that spiritual journey. We have Judgment. Wow. So we're going down in line over here. Okay. So Judgment is right before the world. Okay. Judgment is right before the world. This is represented by the planet Pluto. This is all about like, so perhaps there is a part of you that is afraid of like what other people will think. You know, if you do start a spiritual journey, you know, perhaps you're afraid of like what people will think if you're like, oh, I'm on this spiritual journey now. You know what I mean? Especially if like you have made the decision to change your life. If you're making the decision to change your life, and this is a you decision, this is a personal decision. This is not something that someone else told you to do, or, you know, so there could definitely be some kind of fear here in reference to taking that first step. There are spirit angels and spirit guides here to kind of like push you in that direction and to help you, and to really help you like come to alignment with your higher self. Whatever your higher self is telling you, this card is like pushing you to come into alignment with your higher self so you can actually start to listen to your own spirit guides and your own angels and listen to what they are saying to you, because they are probably trying to tell you something. And they want you to follow your higher self. They don't want you to like listen to all these other people. They don't, you know, they want, because when you come into alignment with your higher self, then you don't really care anymore what other people think. You're just like, no, like I'm going to do this, you know, like it's not about them. It's about you. Right? It's about you. It's about your own transformation. It's about your own path. It's about your own spirituality. It's about you feeling good within you and you being proud of you, right? So that's kind of the Judgment card over here. And once it's like, and there are energies that are helping push you into that state of mind, into that focus, for you to really just start taking care of you, right? This could also be a time where you're like, you know, maybe you're reflecting on like, you know, maybe some like deeper insecurities or things that you feel like are holding you back. Okay, that, you know, that's also self-judgment, you know, but also ask where that's coming from, because we don't, like when we criticize ourselves, that is usually tied to something from the past. That's usually tied to like limiting parental beliefs or people in our surroundings who told us we're not good enough or we can't do this or we can't do that. That's not us. That was like planted in us. That seed was planted in us. So this could also be a time of like needing to break through these old limiting beliefs about what you're capable of, about who you are. Okay, and that is part of this journey of bringing in those 4 different elements. You know, about being honest about your feelings, about how you feel, like really, you know, really being honest, like, oh yeah, like, wow, like I do criticize myself a lot. Like, why? You know, I do feel insecure. Why? You know, and then just allow your mind to just like take you wherever it needs to take you, because it'll show you. Your emotions have memory. Okay. It shows you exactly, like literally, like if you start to feel like, oh yeah, I remember this one time my friend said this to me, you know, that's that. Don't try to change that with your mind, because your mind will do that. Your mind will be like, oh, but she was just being this. Your mind will try to justify, you know, the actions of others. But it's actually really important that we listen to those feelings. You know, it's actually really important that we do acknowledge them for what they are, to actually acknowledge those emotions. Like, oh, well, okay, like maybe she was just angry that day, but it still hurt, right? It still felt this way. It still felt that way. Like, don't put another person's excuse above you acknowledging your own emotion. So that's an example, okay? So take that journey, you know, destroy those demons, you know, the ones that are holding you back from really, you know, going after, you know, this path, you know, that you want to go down, okay? Yeah, so we do have the 5 of coins over here, which is Mercury and Taurus. This is definitely telling me that a lot of you, or some of you, you know, are kind of feeling a little like, I don't know, like deep down inside, like you're feeling kind of down. Maybe some of you, you know, there could be some of you who maybe like lost some money recently. Take a sip of my cold brew. Some of you probably lost a lot of money recently. You know, it could be, you know, maybe you lost a job. It could be also in reference to like the market went down. And so that could definitely be it for a lot of you, and you're really just kind of feeling low about yourself, you know, feeling low about yourself. But if you're watching this though, I mean, there was like typically the 5 of coins, it's that feeling of feeling low and not noticing that there is spiritual presence around you, like not paying attention, not noticing the fact that there is this presence around you that wants to help you, you know, that wants to like nurture you kind of like back to health, and wants to nurture you and, you know, shine that light back inside of you. So if you came across this video, then you know, and this is true for you, then that's kind of part of that, you know, that's kind of part of understanding that there is spiritual energy that's here to guide you. You know, there are people like me out there who want to help you get back on track and want to help you get back on your path. Now, there could also be a lot, you know, this, and to those who are watching, like, also just acknowledge that, you know, there could be a lot of people out there who feel this way and don't, you know, I don't know, like something, you know, something within them just doesn't let them, you know, open themselves up to, you know, spirituality. And it can be anything, whether it's like going to church or, you know, going to a spiritual teacher or a tarot reader or an astrologist, you know, whatever the case may be. So it's also kind of like acknowledging that. But if you are watching this, you know, there is, you know, I do feel like a lot of you are feeling kind of like, I don't know, like down in the dumps about some stuff. And it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It could be like about your body. You could be having some like insecurities about your own body. You know, feeling like maybe you do want to start taking better care of your health, but you don't know where to start. Like you feel really, really weighed down, you know, you feel really kind of weighed down by just, I don't know, like feeling like, you know, you'll never get unstuck, or you'll never feel like you're good enough. And that's just not true. Like, that's just part of those limiting beliefs. That's just part of those naysayers and those other energies in your surroundings, you know, possibly that, you know, are trying to like, you know, hold you back or keep you back. But it's important to understand that if you have people in your surroundings or in your life who are really negative towards you and say really, really nasty things to you, understand that that's just a projection of their own insecurities and things that they haven't dealt with themselves. Do not become part of somebody else's karma. Okay, I was literally thinking about this yesterday, and because like, I've been watching way too much news with the politics and with whatever's going on in Ukraine, and it's like, you know, I've just always been very outspoken about, you know, how the U.S. government just kind of like handles foreign affairs and foreign, you know, issues. And then ultimately, like, I don't know, like, I just had this weird moment where I was like, you know what? Like, this is not my karma anymore. This is not, like, there's a point where we reach where we realize that, like, we need to take care of ourselves. Like, we need to, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I do love politics. I like to be involved. I like to speak my truth and say what I think and get it off my chest because it makes me feel better. And that is also part of the spiritual path. You know, so maybe that can help for some of you. Maybe you need to get some stuff off your chest. Maybe you need to go tell someone, you know, if you did have people in your life who were really mean to you, you know, maybe, you know, that first step is to go tell them, like, you know what, like, you really made me feel like this. You really made me feel like that. You really made me feel this way. And if you don't feel like, you know, if you even don't feel necessarily like strong enough to even do that, you know, then you could just go talk to somebody, talk to a friend, talk to a therapist, talk to, you know, get a journal, you know, in all honesty, like, before I ever became comfortable enough to share with other people my deeper feelings and my deeper emotions, before I ever, when I was a kid, like, literally up until I was about like 30 years old, I did not share my deeper feelings and emotions with like anybody, like nobody. But I also was very, very repressed. I didn't even really know what they were. It literally had to take outside circumstances to trigger my emotions to come out. It literally had to take me getting into relationships with guys who would like trigger me for me to be like, oh shit, I have so much pain. I have so much like stuff that's going on inside me that I never dealt with or took care of. but it was like deeply rooted, right? Like this was like something that was like started in like childhood. And I was a writer, like and that's that's where my emotions came out. I started writing, okay? So, you know, it's okay. Like if you're an individual who just doesn't, feel comfortable talking to other people, then, you know, just go buy a journal and just start writing and just write and just be honest about, you know, how you feel and just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. That's all I have to say. Just keep doing it until you realize, like, you know, and then it'll just hit a point. It'll just hit a point where you realize, like, okay, well, I don't want to be alone on this path anymore. I actually want to share this with someone else. Like, I want to share this journey, or I actually want to share my feelings, you know, like I want to share how I really feel deep down inside with another person. So yeah, you know, there's so many different things that you can do to get started, okay? There's so many different things you can do to get started. This is by no means the end all be all. Like the Five of Coins is kind of known as like a, you know, like downtrodden kind of card. But there's always hope. Like this, you know, this church, what do you call those things? Glass stained windows. You know, like she can't really see it. She can't see the light over here, but there's always light. There's always light. There's always something that you can do, okay? Whatever it may be, there's always something that you can do to just kind of like get yourself out of yourself, right? To get yourself out of yourself, because that is where that energy of like, you know, that pattern just kind of keeps cycling over and over again. That's where that energy kind of gets stuck and, you know, starts to tell you things that just like aren't true, okay? So go buy a journal, go call a friend, I don't know, go to a therapist, leave a comment down below, email me, you know, whatever you want to do. Okay, so for the next card we have the Ten of Wands, okay? Things are just getting heavier and heavier over here, you guys. What is going on over here? So the Ten of Wands, this is Saturn in Sagittarius, okay? This is like, oh man, you guys, like this is like burdens, like really burdened. Like there's something that you are very, very, very burdened by. I don't know who this message is for. It seems like a lot. I don't know, you know, maybe for some of you, you really need to just like, find a safe space to just kind of like let your anger out. That's kind of what I'm feeling. If you need to let out some anger, let out some frustration. I'm feeling a lot of frustration. I'm feeling just like, feeling really burdened, you know, feeling really burdened and frustrated, perhaps with like where your life is right now. I feel like I'm speaking to a lot of people who aren't watching this too. Like I'm just kind of feeling this energy of people just really feeling, some people out there just feeling kind of hopeless, and just feeling really burdened, okay? That Saturn in Sagittarius energy, like, guys, like, there are people out there who have we're talking about Saturn over here. There are people out there who have, like, I'm just putting this into perspective for those who could be watching this and who think that they are in this horrible situation. I just, you know, I'm not saying that your feelings are not valid. They are completely valid. They are completely okay to accept and to acknowledge and to be honest about. But just to put things in perspective, because I'm feeling this really strongly, that there's a lot of people out there who have a lot more problems. And when I say problems, I mean like, I'm talking about outside forces, you guys, outside forces who are literally controlling people's lives. I'm talking about people who are in maybe other parts of the world. I'm talking about people who literally have, like, part of me thinks Ukraine over here, but I'm thinking about people out there in the world who, and this could be you watching this. This could be you who, you know, are just overwhelmed by the forces that are controlling your life, okay? There could be a lot of forces controlling your life, okay? Sagittarius energy wants to be free, okay? This is someone, Sagittarius energy wants to be free. They want to do whatever the heck they want to do. And when you put Saturn on Sagittarius, Saturn is like the no planet. Saturn's like, nope, no, 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 no. Can't do it, can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. There's too many responsibilities. There's a bunch of other things you have to do. So you could have a lot of responsibility, okay? You could have responsibility to your family. You could have responsibility, to, put food on the table, to do this, to that, to do that, to keep them safe. There could be just like a lot of, there could be like military forces, like, in your city or something like that. It's just this energy. It's this energy of pressure, of just too much outside energy holding you down. Okay. Keeping you from really doing what it is that you need to be doing or want to be doing. Okay. If possible, this is also an energy that says, if possible, seek help. Okay. Share those burdens with perhaps other people, who you think can help. Okay. And this goes for anyone who feels overburdened. This is very much about, like asking your neighbor, going to your neighbor and just saying like, hey, can you just watch my house for 5 minutes while I go run out and do something? Or can you, if you're at work, like, hey, can you finish this report or whatever? I have to leave early because I got to go do something. You know what I mean? Those are just examples. Like, but this is about understanding that, yes, there are all these forces. Yes, there are all these things that are going on around you that you can't control. You have a lot of workload. You have a lot of things that you have to do, and it feels like you can't control them, but you can ask people for help. Okay. This is just the next step over here. You can ask people for help. There's always going to be, and if you still feel like you can't ask anyone for help, if you're if you're truly in a situation where, you cannot ask anyone for help, this is the time, this is where it becomes important to come into alignment with your higher self, Okay. Because your higher self is going to keep you strong in a situation like that. Okay. Your higher self, and yeah, it's coming into alignment with your higher self. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, for a lot of people out there, this is not, this doesn't look very good. Okay. This doesn't look good at all. Okay. This is like some occupation type of stuff over here. Let's keep going. We have the 7 of Swords. We have Moon in Aquarius. Yeah. I'm feeling, like, this reading can definitely be for people who could be in, a war-torn area. The 7 of Swords over here, like this, like someone maybe like stealing some weapons. People stealing weapons, people trying to do anything they can, to escape. Moon in Aquarius energy is like, let's see. It's like, the first feeling that I got was like people figuring out how to, like escape certain situations. Okay, so this could be kind of this can also be known as like, you know, ghosting for some people, but people figuring out how to escape certain situations and like how to bring as much as they can with them. Okay. So there could be people out there who are like trying to flee their situations. And then for others of you, you could just be trying to figure out how to escape a certain situation. Okay. You could be in a situation that, like requires you to leave. You know, it could be like a bad romance. It can be, you know, it can be just about anything. It could be like an abusive husband or wife. It can be an abusive situation. But see, this guy is kind of like sneaking out with all these swords. This is also kind of a warning card though, because a lot of the times, because like, see, he has 5 swords. Like he's moving quickly. He has 5 swords, but there's still these 2 swords hanging over here. You know, and he's looking back, you know, because he's moving so quickly. This is like the energy of someone who's trying to be really sneaky about something, who's trying to escape something. But maybe like they leave something behind that is like a clue, you know, to the people around them of like, you know, it's kind of like a clue of like where, it's a clue, right? Like you didn't take everything with you. Okay. Those 2 swords kind of have this overarching kind of effect on the situation. There's a certain energy that's left behind where especially if you're escaping a situation and it's like you take their money, or you know what I mean, like, or you know, you're trying to be sneaky, or you're trying to steal from somebody and you take their stuff. I mean, by the time the person comes back around, they're going to notice, you know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, it's kind of saying like, don't be so naive, like be aware that, sometimes this energy can be a little naive. And it's about really needing to kind of deepen your resolve and to be aware, that like, you might have left some of your energy behind, in the sense that like you could be caught, you know, or something like that. So yeah. And then we have the Queen of Swords over here, Libra energy. We got 2 more cards. So the Queen of Swords is like, I mean, this girl is like ready. This queen is ready to shed some blood. She's ready to shed some blood, okay? Let's just put it that way. She's been hurt. She's been abused or whatever. She's been this, she's been that. She's like, I do feel like a lot of you perhaps like are needing to kind of get out of a bad situation. But like, this is like a no bullshit kind of energy. This is like a, if you come after me, I will fucking kill you type of thing. Okay. Which, you know, hey, no judgment over here if that's what you need to do. But yeah, this is like preparing for war kind of energy. This is like preparing for, you know, or just like preparing to say, you know, preparing to express your truth. Okay. Preparing to say exactly what it is you need to say, to communicate and to express your discontent, or to express your thoughts, you know, to to say how you feel. For the most part, though, I do just see this as a very strong, I see this as a very strong feminine energy who is just not going to take shit from anybody. She's not going to take shit from anybody. This is how, like, I'm, you know, and it's just like, like, I'm not taking this shit from anybody. Like, if I have to fight, I'm going to fight. If I have to go down fighting, I go down fighting. Like, it's a very, very, very raw feminine energy over here. Like, she's ready to fuck shit up, okay? Faith, this is the equivalent to the Hierophant in, like, standard tarot decks, okay? Have faith. Faith is a really good teacher. I'm so glad this card came out. I felt some really good energy when this card came out, you know, about having faith. Even this guy over here, you know, have faith. Talk to your higher self, the judgment, right? Unify those 4 elements within you as one. Bring it up to your higher self. Yeah, this is powerful. This is powerful. It's just like, take a deep breath. This is where yoga can come in. It's about closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, and just being still. Just being still. Even a person who has all these burdens, all this energy, these forces surrounding him can do this. It's just about being with yourself. It's about being at one with yourself. It's about bringing together. Sometimes this spiritual journey, we need that to come together ASAP. It's not even a journey. It's like a week. Okay, we need that energy to come together ASAP because maybe shit's gonna hit the fan, or there's some shit going on. It's time to bring this stuff together. It's time to bring the 4 forces, the 4 elements together within us. You know, you know, close your eyes, be one with your higher self, be one with God, be one with your own soul, with your body, with your mind, everything coming together as one. Hierophant. Okay, this is very powerful for your soul, very powerful for your inner peace. You know, yoga is just about learning how to take deep breaths. It's not science. You know, you can sit in a corner, you can face a corner, and just close your eyes, sit Indian style, and just take deep breaths, and just kind of like let those deep breaths bring it all together, right? That's the best way for me to explain it. Okay, we're going to wrap up this reading. We have the 6 of coins over here. This is the moon in Taurus. So we got a lot of Taurus energy over here, okay? And with Uranus currently in Taurus, so, you know, just kind of shaking up the foundation, okay? The foundation is a little shook. The foundation is a little shook, okay? And that's really not surprising considering Pluto's been in Capricorn for the last, I don't know, 12 years. Have faith. It looks like someone is going to come in and help, okay? So for some of you, there could be someone coming in to offer you money or to offer you something physical, something that will take care of your body, something that will nourish your body. So it could be money, it could be food, it could be, you know, many different things. This is a really, really good energy. This is really positive. This is like saying like help is coming. Yeah, like help is coming. Okay. Justice is coming. Okay, so look, this guy, he is handing out, see the Libra energy, and he's holding these scales. Like, yeah, okay, this is a moon and Taurus card, but this is extremely symbolic. Okay, because he has all these pentacles on his scales to keep things balanced. But he's handing you the Libra glyph, okay? And Libra stands for justice. So he's bringing over justice. So this can manifest in so many different ways. You know, this can manifest as like, you know, when you're praying, your spirit guides are bringing you justice. Your spirit guides hand something to you during your meditation. Okay, your spirit guides hand something to you during your meditation. And it's this energy of justice. You know, they bring something to you that allows you to, you know, get back up, right? This can manifest as like an actual person who is coming to give you something. You know, they could be coming to help you out with money. Okay, during your meditation, you can even maybe come to realize like, oh, there is a certain person maybe that I can reach out to. Like maybe you realize something clicks. Like, and you figure out like where you can obtain the things that you need to obtain. For others, this could definitely be, I don't want to say like a savior, but just kind of like, I don't know, people, there's always people out there who offer help in really weird situations. So it could be people coming to bring food or money or some kind of, or justice of some kind, okay? Like, protection, okay? Protection is also part of earth energy. That's also physical. Protection is very Taurian. It's very Taurian, protection, okay? Security, stability, you know, place to stay. Something like that, okay? So this is the Monday, January 31st collective tarot reading. You are welcome to leave a comment down below. You are welcome to email me and reach out if you would like it. Other than that, you know, for those of you watching, if if you're able to, you could subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.